Here's a sentence I would never say. This generation of men are wonderful. I love opening my own door. I love paying for my own dinner or going halfsies. I love being the one that has to carry my suitcase in and out of the car, up and down the stairs, everything. I love doing the heavy lifting. I love driving and having my little passenger princess on the side. Yeah, this generation of men, we love them. They're incredible.
Guess what? I don't feel bad. You reap what you... So, women created this generation of men. All these beta boys that walk around and don't want to do anything. You created it. You punished men for being men for so long that they stopped being manly. Because every time they did something, you punished them. And even when you want it, depending on how they look, is what you will define as if they're allowed to do it or not. So if you want men to be men, if you want men to carry your bags up the stairs, if you want men to drive, then let them be men. Stop punishing them for everything that they do. Stop telling them that they're evil, that they're wrong, that they're toxic, that they're dangerous. That's how you fix this. But only women can fix this. Men can't fix it. Because men are going to let you do your... If you want to scream equality and you want to scream, we can do everything men can do, then do it. And stop complaining about it. You can't have it both ways. And you can't have it if it's just a hot guy. See, that's the problem, is you base everything on the way a man looks. That deems if he's creepy or not. So if you want men to be men, then stop punishing men for being men.
Okay, like no offense, but I have to share this. If I'm literally getting an Uber to the airport and the Uber driver is a male and I'm literally with my luggage, my carry-on, or luggage in general, like the big ones that you're gonna check in, why are you not helping me? Like,
so you only expect that from a man and not another woman? Maybe it's courteous for them to offer? I mean, just because he's a man doesn't mean he owes you extra labor. But because he's a man, he has to do more for you than a woman driver?
why are you staying in the car?
Did you request help?
And not even stepping out?
Do you expect
helping
women?
me put the luggage inside of the trunk. Am I doing that as a lady? Like, what? And mind you, like, the first time this happened to me, I'm like, okay, that's new. He's a little bit young. Like, maybe he just doesn't know, whatever, right? But this has happened a few times already, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, do I just look like some super strong woman? Like, of course I could do it myself.
Well, there you have it. You could do it yourself. So therefore, he doesn't owe it to you. But you're expecting a man to do more for you than the woman drivers. I mean, I guess it would be one thing if you expect every driver to help you, but again, unless you clearly need the help and you nicely asked for it, that's not owed to you. Us ladies were capable of putting our own luggage into a car. Most of us can lift it into the overhead just fine on an airplane. Why is it okay for women to demand labor from men, but men can't do the same thing? Women have asked for years to be treated equal to men, so when a man doesn't help you, he's treating you like an equal. Also, a lot of men have learned, rightfully so, that even talking to a woman or acknowledging her more than he absolutely has to can lead to him being accused of harassing you or bothering you. Even a simple gesture as grabbing your luggage for you can be seen in a negative light. So a lot of men are just simply being cautious and careful. And this is also one of the reasons why we should appreciate the men who do these things instead of expecting it. Because a lot of men have realized it's become this expectation.
So you can't find a man to commit. Have you tried checking your friend zone? The other day, my friend was telling me how she couldn't find any good men, that they weren't around, that she had no one to commit. All the men in the world, they will sleep with her, they will screw her and chuck her. And she was telling me this long drawn out story. And she was like, yeah, the other day I was with Travis and we were like drinking wine and I was just crying and telling him, you know, how much I wanted a man to commit. And he was telling me how much more I deserve and that I was going to find someone good. Girl, I literally looked at her and I was like, baby girl, have you never realized that the irony of the situation is the shoulder you're crying on and the person you're complaining to about not finding good men is actually a man that will commit to you? Oh my God, there's no way, Hallett, that would never happen. Travis and I are just friends. First of all, men and women cannot be friends. I've said it here, I'll say it again, it doesn't work. One of my best friends was a guy. I love him. He is my brother, but guess how many times I've seen him since I've gotten married? Yeah. I told her, why, darling? Why isn't he good enough? And she was like, I mean, even if he was more than just friends, like it would never work. I'm like, why? Because he's an 8, not a 10. Because he makes 90 grand a year, not 200,000 a year. Because he's a welder with benefits, but he's not a doctor with an MD. This is a prime example of hypergamy, how women who are just average women, which there's nothing wrong with, will go only after the top 10 to 20% of men. And all the men that they complain are not there are literally waiting in their friend zone pool, just around them, just waiting for them to notice. Like, I can't tell you how many men through my 20s were just sitting there, like, that probably would have given me the world, but I never paid attention to. So if you're waiting for commitment, just look around you and see whose shoulder you're crying on.
And a lot of these modern women are continuing to say, oh, I want a man to be bold. I want a man to grow some. I want a man to, just be a man. Just do it, regardless of what I'm doing. Just go out there and take a risk. But it seems like men are the only one taking a risk nowadays in dating. And that's the way that modern women want it. I want you to take all of the risk. Show me. And then if you meet my standards, we'll see. It's not even a, yes, this is the way we're going. It's, we'll see. I've got Chad and Tyrone that I like to go back to.
So my wife got everything in the divorce. She left the marriage a millionaire. I left with nothing. Basically got a bag of clothes, legal issues, PTSD, depression, anxiety, bunch of debt, credit ruined, lost my career, my reputation, everything, right? She got it all and I lost it all. Seems about fair, right? And before you women ask, no, I didn't do anything to deserve it. Was I a perfect husband? No. Did I cheat? No. No. Did I try to give her everything she ever wanted? Yes. And that was the problem. She wanted more and more and more. And then I went into a depression. And as soon as that happened, boom, like a bag of trash to the curb. In fact, the crazy part of all this? I've been dealing with this for 4 years. About 2 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm done. So I made a deal to just get it over with, right? I'm just going to put all this behind me. I'm going to move. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go move with my parents for a year, put my life back together. And guess what happened? The court said no. Why? Because somebody doesn't want to let go. I've been dealing with the divorce for longer than we were actually married. And I'm going to be dealing with it for a few more years. No person should lose everything they ever worked for because of the person they married. It shouldn't happen. And yes, I was dumb. I was naive. I believed in love and she believed in evil. So if you're a man struggling, you're not alone. Okay. Just want to let you know that. This is the one crash out I'm ever going to have on social media. Hope you enjoyed.
Can we put this whole nice guys finish last thing to bed once and for all? Look, guys, I've been rejected too. Shocking, I know. Did I assume it's because I'm too nice? No. I figured they weren't physically attracted to me, they didn't feel a chemistry, or we just weren't compatible. That is the nature of dating. Kindness is not the only ingredient. Women want a kind man, but we also want a kind man that we're romantically attracted to. So if every woman keeps rejecting you, eventually you got to stop asking what's wrong with women and start getting curious. Are you authentic? Are you confident? Do you have boundaries? Are you emotionally healthy? Are you the kind of person that people actually want to date? Women get rejected too when we don't tell ourselves, oh, well, he must have rejected me because I'm too nice. No, she wasn't rejecting your kindness. She simply wasn't choosing you for a relationship. Those are two completely different things. So stop becoming bitter because of rejection and start becoming better because of it. And I have one last question, gentlemen. Are you, as of right now, are you the type of person that you would marry? Would you want to marry yourself? If not, that's where you have some work to do.
You're respectful, consistent, thoughtful. You're doing everything right. But somehow that's when she starts pulling away. It makes no sense. So let's talk about why that happens. When you start caring more, she inevitably is going to feel it. And for some women, that means run away. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It's probably because she started losing control of the dynamic. She got used to being pursued, and now that you're steady and certain about her, it's exposing her uncertainty about you.
Unfortunately, some women equate chaos with passion, so when you're calm, grounded, not playing games, she confuses that with a lack of spark. She doesn't realize that stability is attraction, it's healthy, and it should be the goal. She is just addicted to inconsistency. Do not question your worth because she sees peace as boredom. The right woman won't run or get the ick from stability, she will lean into it. Keep being the man who moves with intention. Link in my bio for one-on-one harsh sister advice.
You know, a lot of times these men, my God, they have to audition for no reason. Not doing it. Why do I have to audition for you? Why do I have to prove myself to you? But you never have to prove yourself to me. I mean, God dog, y'all want men to be leaders, but then you let him get all the way down the street and you never even give him any support. What CEO, what boss in what company is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to carry this entire company on my back the entire way, and say, you know what, I don't need no help. I don't want no support. Which one? Nobody. Give that man some help.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm missing something. Why exactly is chivalry? I don't see two damsels in distress that are in dire need of a big, strong man to come get them out of a situation that they have no hope of escaping. Or am I wrong? Because it seems that in this case, no matter what the men would do, they're going to be wrong anyway. They're wrong if they don't help two fully capable women with their vehicles, but I also have a feeling that those men would be in the wrong if they actually came over to help those women. Because what exactly are they wanting? A man to overlook the situation and tell them that they did a good job? Because then he might be accused of mansplaining, or even worse, of harassing two perfectly strong, capable women. But yeah, I don't think that chivalry is... I think that some women are finally able to take care of themselves, and they don't like it.
How old are you?
21.
23. How long you been together?
Never.
Never ever. So how'd you meet each other?
We're friends from school.
I just met her from my friend, like
a friend of a friend.
Yeah. So would you say you're attracted to each other?
Why are you taking so long?
Are you attracted to me?
No.
I'm gonna say yes. So let's say he wanted to get some tonight. What would he need to do?
Nothing. So I'm not doing that.
If you guys were in the talking stage, would it be okay for him to go on dates with other women?
Yeah. But we're not.
Women never, ever, ever leave a man and sulk and do nothing. They're going to someone else.
Women can always find a guy. Okay, a woman will break up with you, you will break up with her, she can have a boyfriend the next day.
Women will only leave a man if they've already lined someone else up. That is immutable. It's called monkey branching.
All women do monkey branch. They never let go of one man without having a grip on another man. As soon as they have a grip on another man, then they can let go of OG.
That's what women do who are single and looking for a man or want to spend time with a man. They want to book themselves up. So they will book 3 Tinder dates in one day.
There's thirsty men everywhere. They're rich, they're poor, they drive nice cars, they have great jobs. Take my word for it.
Take my word for it. Most of those guys have been orbiting for a while, and it's part of her box of in her cell phone. You can count on that.
What would you go for? That one? This one or this one?
Neither.
Why?
I can tell you all 3. You already told me she was over a roster. And if she's her friend, and she's her friend, none of them are good. You gotta stay true to yourself, King.
What do you think is the body count?
I'm gonna say 15. Damn. 15. And I'm gonna say over 20. Truly.
What's your body count?
4. 4.
So what's the perfect body count for a woman?
For a woman, I'm gonna say under 7.
Under 7?
Under 7.
Damn. So
anything above is crazy.
None of these can have a chance?
Not a chance. You gotta be worthy of yourself, man. You're worth more than that.
But you don't think high body count means more experience?
More experience? I don't give a about more experience.
But shit, what would you rate them then?
Would I rate them?
They good looking.
Nah. You gotta stay true to yourself, man.
Like, my parents didn't let me have a Snapchat or something for very valid reasons, but I sat there and I
argued with them about it
for hours about everything.
Yeah, I'm not tolerating that.
Coming from somebody where I was raised and I had a flip phone until the age of 16, I wish my parents did not get me an iPhone. I wish I did not have any kind of social media access, because on some real I probably would not be in the career I'm in. And if you guys are like honestly thinking that you should be proud of what we're doing long term, that's not something that we should honestly be proud of as women. And I'm honestly just so sick and tired of hearing you guys make excuses, because like, as somebody who's in this industry and who's been in it for as long as I have been, there have been times that I have quit, but yeah, the money is good. I didn't come from money. So yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna work my off. When I can retire, I'm gonna retire. Do I know what I'm doing is wrong? 100%. But I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it and think, oh, well, my parents should just let me do whatever the f I want. No, they shouldn't. They should be parents until the age of 18, and then if you want to go do whatever the f you want, they have the complete option to disown you or set boundaries.
And a lot of these modern women, they say a lot of stuff that's demeaning. They talk about how men are shaming women, but a lot of these modern women out here shame men a lot. They say some off the wall stuff. They say some crazy stuff to disrespect a man. And when a man says, okay, that's how it is, you have to understand, when you say stuff like that, when you do stuff like that, a man, you're gonna call him cold. You're gonna say that he's emotionally unavailable, but really part of that, or maybe even a good portion of that, was you talking trash. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Like Kevin Samuels always used to say. You two were worried about shaming him and insulting him. Now that man seemed cold and distant, and you're not looking at what you did that might have caused that.
I have no problem with transactional relationships. I actually think in this day and age, I can actually understand why a woman would say, you know what, you can't trust men anymore. They all cheat. They all do all this nonsense. I'd rather be with a rich guy, have all my kids with a rich guy. And similarly, I totally understand the man that says, you know what, women, they're all the same headache. They all want the same thing. Why would I be with one that doesn't give me and I could be with a young girl that's constantly got energy and she gives me. I totally understand the transaction. I agree with doing absolutely anything you want. Just don't be delusional about it. If you're dating a woman half your age that doesn't speak the same language, don't be delusional. Men are genuinely believe, no, she loves me. She loves me because of the term hypergamy, because I'm more powerful and more successful. Women only care about those things more once they're fundamentally attracted to you. They have to be attracted to you first, then we give a shit if you're intelligent and powerful and successful. But if that underlying attraction is not there, then we're just using you. And the underlying attraction can't be there when there's a significant age gap. Because here's the thing with women, we fall in love with connection, and we have the most connection with people who are similar to us.
It is biologically against your best interest in the future of your generation and your children. It is biologically against you to be a. But these shows, social media, everything promotes it because they don't want you to have a family. They want you to be alone and single with your cat. By the way, cats are going to eat you after you, by the way. Cat ladies, you guys love cats? Cats are the most disloyal animal. Your dog wouldn't eat you when you're right beside you. He'll go hungry when you're in your house. Your cat, single cat lady, she's going to eat you when you're dead. Went off topic. But anyways, the point is to keep you single and alone because your power is in the family that you bring up. Your power as a woman is in the family that you create. That is the, dare I say, that is the only important thing, or the most important thing that you, being born a woman, has to do in this lifetime, is to have children, have a husband, submit to him, serve him, and raise your children right so that they can do the same thing for the future generations.
Would you still love me if you knew I had a threesome before meeting you?
No.
Would you still love me if I got really fat?
Yes, I would.
Would you still love me if I had a body count over 100?
No, I would not be interested.
I think we're asking the wrong questions, and we're asking them to the wrong person. I would ask her questions like, would you love him if you knew what kind of insecure, pathetic loser actually cares about a woman's past, the number of partners that she's had? Would you love him if you knew that that insecurity would manifest itself in forms of jealous rage, emotional and physical? Would you love him if you knew that he would use your past against you in order to keep you down and keep you submissive and ashamed? Would you love him when he finally comes out of the closet? How do you feel about pegging? And this is Bacon.
If your boyfriend complains about doing normal boyfriend tasks, it's a huge red flag, and you should know now.
Oh dear. Now, believe it or not, there are actually still quite a large number of women that genuinely believe in stereotypical gender roles. However, I must point out that this usually only applies to when they're in a relationship, and more pointedly, it only applies to the men. They believe that if they're in a relationship with a man, that the man should be performing all the stereotypical chores that would fall to a gentleman, such as taking out the trash, building things, lifting heavy objects, and taking care of the car. Yet many of these women, because they mistakenly call themselves feminists, mostly because they don't understand the definition of the term, would be very upset if someone insinuated that they should be performing stereotypical women's tasks, such as cooking and cleaning. So why is gender roles okay in one situation, but yet not in another?
You know, modern women, a lot of them thrive on what's out there. I'm doing it for the plot. What's next? But, you know, unless there's a little bit more uncertainty, especially in dating, men don't really thrive off of that same thing. And so, you know, when you run into the same thing over and over again and it gets expensive, then for a lot of men, that curiosity stops. I'm not really curious anymore about it because I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen. So I'm not really curious anymore. I'm more so tired. I'm more so frustrated. I'm more so upset. I'm no longer excited at the potential to meet somebody because for, you know, going out with these modern women, it ends poorly. So I'm at that point in time, a lot of men just check out. They just go their separate ways. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing. Don't worry about me.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women try to tell a man what he's feeling instead of actually listening to how he's feeling. And then when he starts to express himself, they'll then tell him that he's wrong. My question is, how you going to tell him that he's wrong about his feelings when they're his feelings? And believe it or not, a lot of men actually know what they're thinking and feeling. You just got to sit back and listen. And those moments when he begins to express himself, you got to close your mouth, fix your face, open your ears, and start to listen to what he's saying so that you can get to know him on a deeper, intimate level. So you can get into those spaces of him that you be begging him to get into, so that you can create a safe space for him so he'll open up to you and want to talk to you, instead of now you nagging him or having an attitude with him and now telling him how he's feeling. Let that man express himself to you. Let that man get his thoughts and his emotions out to you, because that's how you're going to build that healthy relationship. That's how you're going to build that healthy love. Let him express himself to you, and you be a helpmate and just listen and help him get through his feelings and his emotions.
I'm going to ask a silly question, but did anyone else notice the 2 open chairs in that video? Go back and look at it if you need to. But there were very clearly 2 chairs that were not being used, but yet they still decided to make a video saying that they're sitting on the floor because there's no men left in this world. So why didn't they just use the 2 empty chairs? It seems rather strange, doesn't it? So I have to ask, is this just a video just to try to disparage men because you don't like them? Or because someone is too lazy to actually go get the chairs? This seems more like a case of rage bait. But dearie, if you're going to make a video about rage bait, at least make sure that it's believable. Because a lot of us noticed that there were empty chairs that you could have used, but instead you'd rather make a show of yourself sitting on the floor when you could have just walked over and used a chair.
Oh, birthday, anniversary, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Mother's Day for some of you, Boo Basket, Burr Basket. What else is there? Like 16 other things? At what point are you just asking for too much? Is there a limit? Like, it's so weird because do you have the same energy for your man? Are you buying him gifts at least 7 times a year? I have a feeling that men don't receive gifts for all of these days. You know, boyfriend day, Father's Day, birthday. I have tons of men in my comment sections constantly saying they've never even received a birthday gift of all things. Instead of focusing on what we can get out of the other person, why not focus on what you can give? We don't need to be adding any more holidays. We've got plenty. And I mean, a lot of women talk about they want just because gifts as well. So is there ever an ending there? Or is he supposed to spend his entire life savings on flowers and chocolate for you 24/7?
You are not lying to men enough.
Oh, really?
Controversial? I don't think so, okay? You need to lie to men. The truth needs to be earned.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a controversial opinion. I would actually call that a wrong opinion, but I'm sure there's more to this.
And this is a question that I get a lot. A lot of you guys are like, well, what happens when we seriously start dating? Have they earned the truth? Because until that point, you are broke, your job is shit, you have nothing, you, I don't know, live with your parents, I don't make up any fucking lie. Okay?
Because that's the best way to start an actual relationship, is with lies. Why would they ever trust you again?
Okay, because until that point, I promise you, they're lying to you 10 times more.
Even if that was the case, how exactly do 2 wrongs make a right? Oh, that's right, they never do. But it's just my opinion that if either individual starts off the relationship with lies, they're actually not ready to be in any sort of relationship. Because relationships need trust. And if you start out with lies, there can never be trust.
I think that the most feminine thing about a woman should be her ability to take correction, apologize, and to take accountability. And I think that's why a lot of women come off as masculine, because when you do those 3 things, any of those to a woman, you ask her to apologize, I apologize about you try to correct her, don't be telling me what to do, you ain't my daddy, you know, you try to hold her accountable, like, well, you do this, this, and this. You know what I mean? It's never her listening to the information and projecting it into her life. If a man tells you something, especially a man that cares about you, he's telling you something, it's because he loves you and he wants better for you. So when he says, babe, you know what, the way that you were acting online or the way that you were doing this, you know, it just comes off like this. It's not your job to combat what he says. It's not your job to overtalk what he's saying. It is your job to be like, okay, babe, yeah, I see it on how you're saying. Because sometimes those extra eyes looking in actually are better than the eyes that we have looking right in that moment. You know what I mean? Than our own eyes. And again, if you're apologizing, don't just say, I'm sorry. Say, I'm sorry for this, this, and this. Offer, you know, backup evidence on why you're apologizing, because at that point you're just standing, it's just an apology standing on no legs. You know what I mean? And so I think that with women, that's something that a lot of women need to work on to become more feminine.
Don't date single moms. Don't do it. Do not date single moms if you're not mature enough to handle everything that comes with her life. She is not just one person. She comes as a package, and her children will always be her first priority no matter what. That means her time is limited, her energy is divided, and her responsibilities are already heavier than most. If you expect constant attention, instant replies, and easy access, you are already not ready for that reality. And that is where most men fail, because they want the woman, but not the responsibility that comes with her life. There will be canceled plans, delayed messages, and moments where you are not the center of her world. Not because she does not care, but because she has a role that demands more from her every single day. A real man understands patience, support, and emotional stability without making her feel guilty for it. The truth is, dating her requires maturity, because you are stepping into a life that already has structure. If this hits you, drop a 100, because real relationships require understanding, not just attraction or interest.
This is exactly right. Modern women are struggling in dating because men cannot tell the difference between the hoes and the non-hoes. And in all honesty, how could they? Y'all are wearing the same outfits, going to the same parties, doing the same things with the same men, unfortunately. And then you expect men to think that you are different. Why? Why? If you walked up to me dressed like a clown, I'm gonna assume you're a clown. Just like if you walk up to him dressed in the same aesthetic as the OF girl that he follows, he's gonna, yeah. And I know y'all love to do the whole, oh, he shouldn't judge me until he gets to know me. Why are you passing judgment on people? If somebody was running at you right now dressed in all black with his scully on, would you run? Or would you stand there and try to get to know him and see what he wants first? Exactly, right? So this is not respectability politics. This is the fact that y'all be presenting yourselves in an incorrect light. If you want to present yourself like a wife and girlfriend, do that. Do that. Don't act like the hoes that you see online. It's so simple. It could all be so simple.
Oh dear, this again. Now, I'm sure there's a great many of you out there saying, don't even bother. Why even respond to such a petty, not to mention inaccurate comment as this one? Because you surely have better things to do, which is true. However, in this case, there's a reason. I actually have a question for the commenter. Since they have not only decided to resort to name calling, and in addition, they have made multiple videos about me, telling everyone who will listen how much they truly despise me, everything that I have to say, and in fact, everything that I stand for, how much they cannot stand me. Is there actually anything relevant that someone would like to contribute to the dialogue as an adult? You know, having an adult conversation that doesn't involve name calling and disparaging comments. I would actually be very fascinated to hear that. However, I won't get my hopes up.
Stifler, ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Can't pick 7. Your answer?
8. Okay, yeah, I want to say 10, but like last time I said 10. I mean, not 10.
Forget about last time. Imagine this is the first time you've ever been on the show.
Okay, 10.
9. 8.
Okay, what about you?
A 10 as well.
All right, what about you?
Like a 6.8.
Can't use fractions or whatever.
Okay, 6. 6.
I was going to say 6.5, so I'll say 6.
If 1,000 men were to rate you, what would the average be?
I've been rated like a 7 before.
Okay. What
7
do you
or
think?
8. 8.
Sure. Okay. What about you?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7.
I rate myself a 10, but most guys would rate me like between a 7 or a 9. Maybe like a 6 or 7. 6?
What about you?
6.
Oh, I give myself a 5. Give myself a 5.
Give yourself more credit.
Yeah, I
Only
think I'm like
deficient.
average looking guy.
But like, why would you want to walk around life with like that kind of like
Confidence.
insecurity?
And another thing that you also have to think about is, you know, when you want a man to yearn, you want a man to, I understand you probably want that man to really show you that he likes you. Well, I don't see it as him like simping for me. And if that is simping, then that's what I want. I want a man to really like me. I want a man to really show that he likes me. There's other ways that that man can show that he likes you versus him getting down on both knees, crying and snotting, licking all over your feet, sucking all over your toes and all that nonsense. There's other ways that he can do that. But that's what modern women want. They read that type of stuff in books. They look at that type of stuff on TV, and that's what they want. And men are realizing at some point in time, you're going to think because I yearned and I begged for you that you're in a higher and a better position. Well, you know, I can leave you. I don't need you. You can't leave me. No, I did that thinking that you would understand how much I really want you in my life. But now that you're going to throw that in my face, I think I'll get to packing. I'll be out by the night.